7.5, we're going to do proofs with similar triangles. The word proofs actually makes some people very nervous.
Yes.
I'm hoping that with your experience that you had last semester and the massive amount of studying that you did for your final, that a lot of you did, I know, I'll help you with this. I'm going to give you some tips, okay? All right, so this is review from last time at the top, and then the bottom is something we're going to add. So just wait. Don't write anything down yet, okay? Last time we were doing your assignment, we had 3 ways to prove triangles are similar. These will be your answers for the end. Your very last step will be either side, side, side similarity, angle, angle, angle similarity, or side, angle, side similarity. And I abbreviated the similarity with the little tilde. That is how you prove triangles are similar. Those 3 are the only thing you need to look for. If you remember, I had you write them out very concisely on this page here, on the front of this note sheet. So those are the only 3 things you need to worry about to figure out, is this side, side, side? Is this angle, angle, or is this side, angle, side?
No. Did you give me 13 or at 6?
All right.
Okay, wait, let me see what you did first.
No! Because I did. All right. We're going to put 2 new things into your Pashla book. And I have not finished them here. We're going to finish them together. That's what the ... is. This is very similar to what we've done in the past. We did a CP, CTC that was corresponding parts of congruent triangles or congruent. But we don't have congruent triangles. We have similar triangles. So there's 2 different ones based on if we have corresponding angles or corresponding sides. Corresponding angles of similar triangles are, anybody guess what it's going to be?
Congruent?
Yes, because in similar triangles, the angles are always congruent. So you need to put in here, corresponding angles of similar triangles are congruent. I abbreviate this. By the way, that was congruent right there. I abbreviate that one to be, when I put it in a proof, you'll see, corresponding.
Do we still have to worry about leaving room for pictures, and I just do my pencil again?
We will be doing that, yes, in next on the 7.6. Corresponding angles of similar triangles are congruent. That's how I abbreviate it.
Oh, okay, so we can't do CASTC.
I suppose you could.
Well, normally I would write it something like that, but in my personal
Definitely
book I write
don't.
it out so that...
Definitely
Yeah,
do, yes. Definitely write it out. And then we have corresponding sides of similar triangles are. Definitely write it all out. Yes, proportional.
Yeah.
That one it's harder to abbreviate. The whole word sides pretty much needs to be written out. Similar triangle, if you can do the tilde in the triangle again. But the word proportional, you need to at least get pro something in there to get it proportional. There's not a symbol for it. Okay?
CSSTP.
That's all right.
I'm probably going to remember it, but...
Here's some tips.
CSSTP.
When you're got 2 triangles and you're trying to prove that they are similar, and you figure out, oh, they're 2 angles, I can use AA. In your proof, you need to have a given, right? And you need, before you can say angle, angle, similarity, and that 2 triangles are similar to each other, if you're going to use AA, you must say that an angle is congruent to another angle. You must say that twice, not the same thing twice, but a different angle is congruent for some reason. Whether it's in the given or maybe vertical angles. Here we go.
Really?
So before you can use angle, angle in your proof, you must have somewhere an angle, 2 different angles congruent to 2 different other angles before you can use angle, angle. Right? I am going to do this for the other ones.
Wait,
Yes, ma'am.
That bad.
in the given, if there's 2 angles congruent, does
Then
that
it's already done. Yes, but somewhere in that proof, because it'll be written in the given. Yes, okay. Side, angle, side, it will be very similar. What did I do?
Oh, I see it
it'll be very similar. Instead of you just having an angle there, you'll have somewhere in there, you'll have an angle. That could be in the given, Heidi, like you said. But you'll also have two different sides. So you might have it might even be in the given, but somewhere in there you have to have some side being congruent. No. You might even be like this. It might be a side 1 over side 2 being proportional to another side. And that might actually be in the given somewhere. But you'll have to have some kind of, you'll have to have two of those. I'm going to even put that times 2 because you need to have, because it's side and then an angle. So before you can use side angle side similarity, you need to have two sides and an angle somewhere in that proof. Okay. Okay, so there was a question if I really need this times 2 right here. And we concluded that this right here is one side. That goes with that's two sides. And that goes with two sides. So that would be enough to state that we have. So we will not need the times 2 there. Okay. All right. Thank you, Heidi. Last kind will be side, side, side. And before, we can use the side, side, side similarity as the last step of our proof. You're going to have either one big long proportionality statement, side with a side, equaling another side and a side, equaling another side and a side. That's one big long statement. That would give you 3 of them, all being proportional. Or they'd have to have somewhere inside there for some way to have 3 of the sides being proportional before you can go on to the side, side, side. You'll have a given. Maybe that will even be the given. Okay? All right, questions? Let's do some proofs. I'm going to tell you that this proof right here is very similar to a proof you will have for homework. So we won't be doing a proof for your homework, but we'll be doing one very similar to a proof for your homework. I am going to do this with you right now. Are you ready? Here we go, Amy. We're going to make a plan. We're going to make a plan. Before we plan, we're going to mark. How do I mark that angle A is congruent to angle B? Oh, no. That's not true. Fix that for me, please. That should say C.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that should say C. All right, that should say C. Okay, so I'm going to mark that angle A is congruent to angle C. With me so far. What do I know about this triangle before I even start?
Angles 1 and 2 are
And I'm going to mark that in a different color because I actually have to state that in my proof. You can't automatically know it just by the picture. You have to state it. So before we get going and we even talk about the proof, are those two triangles similar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one? Angle, side, or side, side, side?
Angle.
Okay, so I'm going to put that part of my plan. I know right now it's angle. I'm just going to write that. I know it's angle. So if it's angle, can I make one of those proportionality statements? Or I could even state that the triangles are similar, right? Mm-hmm. By angle. After that, can I make a proportion out of it?
Yeah.
Yes. So that's that's my next step will be making a proportion. But how in the world would I get it to be that? What of those properties that we've learned so far could make a proportion turn into something that looks like this?
cross multiply?
Cross multiply. So let's try. I'm going to put cross multiply. That's going to be my CM. And I'm going to put a question mark to see if I can even get it there. But that's my suspicion. Okay? So my plan's kind of big for my paper. And you guys have smaller pencils. But I'm going to move my plan up. Okay? So I'm going to get the triangles congruent by angle, angle. Remember the tip said that to get angle, angle, I have to have two angles congruent in my statement before I can even go there. Then I'll do some stuff after that. So here we go. Let's make our statements, reasons. Number 1 is my given. Angle A is congruent to angle C. That's number 1. That's my given. Okay, so I said before I can do angle, angle, I have to have two angles. I've got one of the sets. I need another set.
Vertical angles theorem with 1 and 2.
Okay, that's what Heidi told me, and I marked it in a different color because I needed that, right? Angle 1 is congruent to angle 2 by vertical.
Since when I'm doing my homework, I don't readily have different colors available. I just circle
That's
one
fine.
that I have
You're
to
fine.
prove.
That's fine. And I'm just doing that for your clarification, so I put a different color. And I do that on the answer key, by the way. If it's in a different color, it's because I need to state it in my proof.
Then we can do angle, angle.
Then we can do angle, angle. That's true. That will be our answer, our reason. But what's the statement that goes with that?
EAB is congruent to EDC.
Okay, so we say the first one. You said E what?
EAB.
EAB. And I'm going to put the symbol triangle in front. Similar.
ECD.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, okay. Triangle
I did it
E.
in a slightly different order, but the
C,
same ones together. So yeah.
D, you said. Yes. All right. As long as the corresponding pieces go together and D is shared, you can put those in any order you need.
Shared.
Yes, E is shared.
You said D.
All right. Now, we're going to go further now. We're going to make, because we got to get this cross multiply thing, and before we can do the cross multiply thing, we have to have a proportion to cross multiply, okay? So this is number 4. Notice on up here, I got to make sure I do this right. I need a BE. I need a BE somewhere in there, so I'm starting with that one. BE goes with what on the other triangle down here? BE, and we can even look over here. BE goes with DE, so I'm going to put a DE here. Is there a DE in my little statement over there? Yes, so good. So those two we've covered. Now I need a CE. Which one does CE go on? Does it go on the top of my proportion here or the bottom? CE.
Bottom.
It goes on the bottom, CE, because it goes with that bigger triangle. And I'm still left, I still need that AE. Does it correspond with CE? And does it go on the other triangle?
Yes.
Okay, so we're making our proportion correctly because there's, we know, the reason I'm checking is because we could have this other CD that's not even part of that over there. So we don't want to use it. So we need AE. And if you remember in my plan, when you make a plan, you're not always for sure, but I thought we might cross multiply because that's the only thing I can think of that would get us this. Does it work? Does cross multiply get us what we want?
Yeah, but how do we, what's our reason for?
Oh, that's a good question. What is the answer for, what is the reason? We wrote it down in your Pashla book just a moment ago.
Oh, corresponding sides of similar triangles
Are proportional. Yes, because that was what we just wrote. Corresponding sides of similar triangles are proportional. I'm going to say prop. Oh, that looks like property. I'll do OR. Proportional. Okay. Good questions. Does cross multiply work though? Do these two fit up there?
Yep.
And DE and AE, does that go with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so cross multiply did work. Okay, so I'm going to undo those. So number 5.
What would be our reason for number 5?
Very good question. Let's first write the statement. BE, CE equal. Then I'm going to do this side over there, right? DE, oh, my bad. And AE. Oh, and make sure you write it in the same order they have up there, because that's what we're trying to get. All right, now. Anybody? Cross multiply. Yes. All right. So before we can make this AA similarity, we had to get two angles congruent first. After that, we could get a proportion, and we use the corresponding sides of similar triangles or proportional, and then to get what we wanted at the end was our cross multiply. All right, let's do another one, unless there's questions. Yes. All right, well, I've got a proportion up there. I've got two triangles, and we're trying to prove some angles are congruent. All right, so we're going to mark first and then make a plan. This is how I mark it. AC and DF, I mark that AC goes with DF. And then AB goes with DE. I'm going to put double on that one and DE. Okay. And then I've got CB and FE. Oops. Okay, now I need to do a plan. How are we going to get these two similar to each other?
Side, side, side.
Okay, so we're going to say the side, side, side.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
How are we supposed to prove E is congruent to H when there's no H?
Man, I did do it again.
Yeah.
B. B.
Got it.
Thank you. That would be very hard. Like
Yes.
proving that there's a sandwich without any sandwich. You know? All right. Let's go B. Okay. So, I heard side, 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 similarity. How in the world, after something similar, do you prove that two angles are congruent?
Corresponding angles of
Similar triangles are congruent.
That's correct. I'm going to just do I'm just going to say corresponding angles, just for our plan, okay? Terrible handwriting right there.
Right now I have
Angles.
here.
Okay, corresponding angles is what we're going to do, okay? So here we go. For simplicity, just for time, I'm going to put an S and an R for statements and reasons. And I might even scoot it over because that's a very long statement there. And number one, I need to write all that out. AC. What's the reason again? Now, number two, what's my next statement going to be? Be careful, I kept doing that. It's not congruent. Be careful.
is similar.
Very good. Yeah, I did that when I was doing some stuff too. Similar to,
D,
what goes with A? D goes with it, okay? And then
E,
F, oh wait, EF, right? EF. What reason?
side, side, side.
Side, similarity. Okay. Okay, so I told you before, our tip for side, side is we had to have three sides proportional. Here's our first. Here's our second. Here's our third. So we have it. Now, but we're not done. We're trying to prove that angle E is congruent. This time it is congruent, angle B. I'm going to have you write what you think it is. And then we'll catch up. Let's say that it starts up with something like corresponding. Corresponding angles of what?
Similar triangles.
Similar triangles are they congruent or similar or proportional?
Congruent.
Congruent. This one was lots shorter than the last one. We first proved similar, then we took those pieces and proved something else afterwards. Okay?
Did you give us
a lot in the given. So.
There was a lot in the given, even though, yeah, it's really compacted, but lots. Last one, that second one was very similar to one that you're going to have in your homework, okay? All right, let's make sure that all my letters work here. Okay, I have all the letters I need this time. Okay, here we go. Now we have, I'm going to mark it. I have a proportion here. I'm going to mark it on my diagram. AE goes with CE. That's AE and CE. And BE and DE. Let's make a plan after we marked.
Side angle side.
Good job, good job. How do we get the angle, Brett? Because I'm going to do it in a different color.
Vertical angles.
Yes, those vertical angles. And I'm marking it in purple. Purple meaning I have to state it in my proof because it's not stated in the given. So yes, Brett, we're going to do side angle side, similarity. But how am I going to get the angle A and angle C are congruent? Because after we do that.
Corresponding angles of...
Yes, that corresponding angles thing. I'm going to let you guys, I'm not going to talk much as I write this down because I think you guys got this. Every so often look up here and compare. I've got the given written down. Fantastic. Angle 1 and angle 2. My vertical angles. Then I can do those triangles are similar. A. No, not congruent. Similar.
ABE is CDE.
Well, does it matter the order you write that in?
Yes. If I did ABE, A has to go with
Well, I'm talking about like the first one, like when
this one and this one. I could have written the very first one instead of ABE. I could have written it BAE. Any way I want. But then the second one does matter.
Okay.
Okay?
It's gonna be.
A goes with C. E goes with E. So D, that's next.
C.
AD, CDE. Did I do that right?
Yeah, I think so.
And my reason is
Angle side angle similarity.
careful.
Or side angle side.
Very good. We still have to say angle A is congruent to angle C. Now that we have them proportional, is there something that we know about proportional triangles? Or similar triangles, I mean?
Yes. Or congruent.
Yes, their angles are congruent, so we can say corresponding angles of similar triangles are congruent. Oh, my bad.
Just put cast and
Oh, how does it go? C-A.
Cast.
C-A-S-T.
C-
Spelled cast and then put
C-A-S-
C, so it's like cast or
Corresponding angles of similar triangles are congruent.
Well, if you just start saying it and then every time you get to a new word, write the first letter.
Yeah.
And I'd like to put it as capitals. I don't know why. It just feels wrong to do abbreviations. So corresponding sides of congruent triangles would be corresponding sides of similar
Similar
triangles
triangles.
are
CSSTC.
proportional.
P.
P. That would be P.
That's a T.
Proportional.
CSSTP.
CSSC.
All right.
I'm crazy.
That one is very much like one that you do on your homework. Okay. All right. So we learned 3 things. You're going to use angle-angle similarity, side-side similarity, or angle-angle similarity. Oops, I did what we said a minute. Something's wrong up there.
Side
Something's
angle
right.
side.
That's supposed to be side, angle, side. And we're doing a similarity on all of them. Okay? All right, and we put these in our postula books right here. Okay?